All right, what is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video on liquidity, supply and demand. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel, etc. Really helps me out. Today, we're checking out the V-shaped recovery pattern strategy again. Made famous by Dodgy, absolutely incredible guy and incredible mentor. You're getting an insane win rate with this of around 80%, trading on US 100 and on gold over the past 6 months or so. So I did just want to go over the strategy in this video and give you an idea of the kinds of things that you can achieve with it. If you would like signals or alerts for this strategy, there is an availability in the description down below. You can just join the WAP private Discord server for $30 a month. Pretty good bargain, if I'm being completely honest, considering that the win rate is about 80% on this. And I am trying to grow a little community there, so definitely go and get involved in that. Obviously, we're going to be looking at the strategy today and seeing what we're basically looking for. So basically just taking a look at what we're looking for in the markets for the strategy. Basically just looking for V-shaped recoveries out of liquidity sweeps. Very simple. Basically, you've got your market going sideways like this. You create a few swing points, which are pretty obvious. Like you can obviously see this swing low down here. And then what you're looking for is very simply, you want to come down, get that manipulation after this accumulation, the manipulation, and then you've obviously got your nice reversal that you're looking for with this inverted fair value gap back to the upside. Very simple strategy. Also, if you're delivering out of a really large gap to the side here, this is even better. If you're bouncing out of a massive fair value gap to the side, you get an inverted fair value gap on the charts that you can reverse back above. You obviously enter on the close back above, and then you are targeting a 1-for-1 for your first take profit. Manual stop loss if you close back below this fair value gap here. And then I usually just have a 1-to-1 for my first take profit, and then I'll have two runners, one to about halfway up and one to the high of day. This strategy has worked really well for me in general, and I've got some incredible results, as I said, over the past 6 months or so. So I did want to start sharing them with other people because it's just been doing so well for me. I can barely believe it, to be honest. You can see I've got some alerts set here for some potential entry areas on US 100 today. Once we get open, hopefully we come down, sweep some liquidity and get a V shape like this, or maybe an even better V shape down below all the liquidity that's formed underneath these lows down here. Be interesting to see where we go next, but either of these would be a really nice trade going into Monday open. Obviously, I'm in the UK, so I'm currently around, 5 in the morning for people in the US as I'm recording this video. This is 10 in the morning UTC. So we're looking at, 5 hours ahead of you? 5 hours behind you? I can't remember. But anyway, it's the middle of the night for you, and I am getting ready for the trades for today. So basically these would be two areas that I'd be looking to get V-shapes out of. And I just did want to show you a few examples of some trades recently. This one here was a bit of a bummer. I think this was a 2 minute. I said this in the previous video. There was a really good V-shape here. But this 2 minute was invalid, so I did take the second 2 minute, which ended up being a break even, and it was really sad because this obviously ran all the way back to high of day and eventually to all-time highs, which would have been an insane trade. I did take a runner on this on some of my accounts when I started seeing the momentum to the upside. I just entered with 1 micro and basically just allowed the trade to play out. But basically, as you can see here, we had this really good sweep of liquidity. Look at this clear, extremely obvious level of liquidity here that you could be swept. And then we obviously were looking for that fair value gap back to the upside. You can see really obvious. If I can actually get this, really obvious fair value gap here. But unfortunately, it was invalid because we hit the internal swing high here, as you can see, which means that the trade, this is usually where you go break even on your trade. So sadly, the trade was invalid. So then I was thinking, I really want to get in this position. So there was obviously a fair value gap here as well. As you can see, this closed above. And I think this didn't actually end up being a break even because it did technically close below though. So this would have been technically a loss. But I remember I couldn't take this because for whatever reason, I think on the NQ, which is slightly different to US 100 in terms of the chart, which is what I take it on. I think it basically came up and tagged this and it got stopped out at break even. So this would have been, you can see the idea that you're looking for that really nice V shape, the sweep of liquidity. We just didn't get the entry quite right on this one, sadly. But there are plenty of examples all across the charts of potentially good trades. Let me just undo all this because let's just charts being playing silly buggers. Let's get rid of the drawings. So you can see we've got some potential ideas here of what we're looking for. These V-shaped recoveries happen all the time and they're really, really good. 5-minute ones are especially good. There were some really textbook ones last week. You can see the really, really good one here. Come down, massive sweep of all this liquidity, all the way almost down to here, but you can see all that liquidity swept. You can see we're starting to V-shape back up here. Massive, amazing momentum candle back to the upside. Obviously a very, very simple close above, good targets. Targeting a 1-for-1 for your first take profit, which lines up really nicely with that internal swing high where you go break even. You can see that got hit, would have got break even after that, and then I basically would have just targeted somewhere in this area, probably would have took a second take profit here. But then once I saw it was the end of the day and going into the weekend and we lost all momentum, probably just would have closed the rest of the position there. That would have been an absolutely beautiful textbook trade. And there was a good one here actually. This one would have been good, but it was invalid because it hit the internal swing high on the 5-minute. Let's see if we got any entries on the 1-minute because I can't actually remember with this one. So we're here. Yeah, there's a lot of chop here. It's just before open, so I wouldn't be taking this inverted fair value gap just because of the crazy chop that we did see here. But you can see we eventually did go to the highs, but not really the V-shape that you're looking for. You can see this is very, very messy price action here on the open. So I wouldn't have been looking for any kind of V-shape out of there. You can see all across these areas here, though, there's tons of V-shapes happening all the time. Recently, we've had quite a few messy ones on US 100, but you can see the vision. Some pretty textbook ones on the 5-minute recently. I thought there was one back here that was a good one, wasn't there? Yeah, you could have taken, look at this absolute beast of a trade here that you could have taken. I think this was a trade on the 1-minute. This one on the 5-minute would have been a beast as well. You could have took this one potentially if you were waiting for a bit more confirmation. You wanted to see all the fair value gaps taken. As you can see, you could have taken this one here. Obviously at a 1-to-1. We come back, retest the fair value gap here. Never closed below, so it's not stopped out. Come back up, hit the 1-for-1, and then I would have left a runner to here. And then I probably would have just, because we were near all-time highs, just left a runner to all-time highs, which obviously, as you can see, would have worked at absolute perfection. 1-to-1 taken here. Another take profit taken at this high here. If I can actually get this to drop. My God, what is going on with my charts today? There we go. And then I probably, at this point, when I can see this starting to run up, smashing through liquidity levels, I would have just left a runner for all-time highs there. And as you can see, absolute banger trade, another banger trade. This strategy has been getting me a ridiculous amount of wins, to be honest. All you have to do is just be patient and wait for those clear, obvious sweeps of lows. This one here would be good, or this one here would be good as well. Imagine if we came down, sweat this low and got a reversal. That would be a beast of a trade. Really, really good trade. But I'll leave it at that. This also works on gold. Probably in my next video, I'll go over gold and some of the trades that I've taken recently. You can see there's actually a trade right now for gold. As you can see here, we are basically, this one not as textbook because we didn't get that really, really clear sweep and V-shape, but you can see this is a bit more of an ICT one. We've basically got accumulation, the manipulation, and then the fair value gap inversion. Probably going to get distribution back up for all these stop losses, at least to this high, I would say. So I thought this would probably work for a 1-to-1. I'm currently in this trade on my prop firms, and right now we're just chilling, and we're going to see what happens next. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you made it till the end, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel, check out the video on screen. And also, if you want to get alerts for this, you can sign up to the Discord in the description below.